Hello friends. Okay, today we can start with logical reasoning. Today also we are going to discuss the different subtopics of logical reasoning. It is one of the important area, that is it is talking about the Indian logic, that is pramanas. Okay, pramanas, it is of six types. Okay, pramanas, you know it's a means of knowledge and it is of six types. So we will discuss about them in a detailed way in today's class. So let us start our class. Be attentive to the class. Pramanas, that is means of knowledge. It is of six type. So how we are considering the knowledge, it is known as pramanas. So first one is pratyaksha or perception. Perception is we are seeing the object before our eyes. We are getting the correct knowledge about the matter by seeing it, by touching it, by hearing it. So it's a direct perception or direct understanding is happening in the case of pratyaksha. Okay, non-erroneous cognition means we are using the sense organs we are using here. That is all the five sense organs we are using here for our, to understand the direct knowledge from the matter. Okay, so it is of two types. One is nirvikalpa. Okay, nirvikalpa, it is a Sanskrit word and it means indeterminate. Indeterminate means the first stage or the surface study or simple apprehension. Just we are seeing it and understanding it. That is what we called as nirvikalpa. Not we are not going deep into it. For example, you are standing for or waiting for a bus or something. At that time, some accident or something will happen. You have seen it directly. Okay, this is what we call as Nirvikalpa. You don't know what is happening there. You just saw that two vehicles hit each other. You just see that. You know only the surface area. Okay, you just know that much only. Then what is Sarvikalpa? Okay, Sarvikalpa, it is determinate. That is the second stage or deep study. That is later you understood that this vehicle has more speed and that is in the wrong position. And like that, you will get a deep study of it is what we called as Sarvikalpa. Okay, and so the same thing, we are seeing it and we are watching it, we are hearing it. The same thing is happening in Nirvikalpa as well as in Sarvikalpa. But difference is that one is surface study and another is a deep study. Okay. So Pratyaksha, two types, Nirvikalpa and Sarvikalpa. So I think you are clear about it. Next is it is again that Pratiksha is again divided into two types, Laukika and Alaukika. Laukika, it is very clear from the word itself, it is related to the world, and Alaukika, it is something related to the spiritual side. Okay, so we can see what is Laukika or Sadharana, our ordinary direct interaction is what we call as Laukika. Direct interaction, I told you, directly we are getting knowledge is known as Laukika. It is of two types. Laugika is again divided into two types. One is external and another is internal. Okay. How it differs? We can see that external means visual. Visual means by using your eyes you are getting the knowledge. Then olfactory, by using your nose, that smell you are getting it. Auditory, by using your ears. By hearing you are getting the knowledge. Tactile means by using touch by something you are getting the knowledge, and taste, you know, it's by the tongue you are getting the knowledge. So this is the external way of laukika. Okay, and what is the internal way? That is inner sense. Inner sense, you know, cognitive, that is we are using your brain, working out perception, feeling, you are feeling emotional feelings like sadness, anger, all these things will come out. That is what we call as internal sides of laukika. It all belong to laukika, but it's a part of that is laukika's part is external as well as internal. Okay, so you get an idea. The perception is divided into laukika and alaukika. In this laukika, it is again divided into external as well as internal. Okay, then we are going to study about uh, alaukika. Okay, asadharana. Okay, alaukika or asadharana, that is extraordinary, beyond the direct contact, beyond without touching it, but before us we are getting an idea about it. That is what we called as alaukika. Samanya Lakshana. Okay, Samanya Lakshana is perception of universal. For example, Samanya Lakshana, we say that from the small incident, we are getting an idea about the whole of that group. For example, we are taking a small part of laddu, okay? Laddu, you know, it is very sweet thing. Even though you are getting a small part of it, you can understand the full part will be how it tastes, okay? As the same way, you are getting a small area, but you are from that you are able to understand the whole thing. You can understand. That is what we call as Samanya Lakshana. Okay, Samanya Lakshana is the part of Alaukika. Okay, or Asadharana. Next is Ghana Lakshana. Ghana Lakshana is complicated perception. It's complicated perception. For example, it is by association. For example, ghost. We cannot touch it. We cannot show it to the people. But we can get some kind of perceptions from some kind of feelings or some kind of associations. You are getting an idea about the ghost or like that things. That is called Ghana Lakshana in the case of Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, and it is based on Indian logic. Okay, so you must keep that in mind. According to the Indian logic, you are not able to concretely you cannot show the ghost. So, but by some kind of associations, you can find or you can show the presence of ghost or something. That is what is known as Gana Lakshana. Okay. Next is Yogaja. Yogaja, the word itself very clear. It is meditation. That is by taking the meditation, you get some kind of perceptions. You are getting into some kind of inner world. Can reach the past, present, and future. Okay, so it's the extreme side they are talking about. You might have heard of some sages or someone is talking about the future, the present, the past, and all. They are taking the meditation to a different level. It's a different level of perception. Okay, it's an I told you it is alaukika. It's not easy for the ordinary people to reach. It is something extra. Okay, so you get an idea about the perception. Okay, and that is alaukika. It is of three types: samanya lakshana, Ghana Lakshana and Yogaja. So the three types is in the Alaukika. Next, Anumana. Okay, so the second one is Anumana. Inference, it is also known as APOHA. In some other question paper, we can see the word APOHA. Then you don't get confused. It is Anumana itself. Okay. So Anumana or inference or apoha, it can be seen in the question papers. They will ask some kind of questions, so you must know about it. So first one we have studied, that is Pratyaksha, and second is Anumana. Okay, you studied about this Anumana. It is a knowledge after other knowledge. You have some knowledge about something and you are using it, apply it in something. That is known as Anumana. Anumana, you are taking an Anumana about something. Knowledge due to previous knowledge of some science. For example, by seeing the clouds, okay, by seeing the clouds, you get an Anumana that it will rain. Okay, so that is what the inference, you get an idea. By seeing the clouds, it is clear the clouds will surely pour down. So it become rain. So it's your knowledge. It's a knowledge you have. So that knowledge you are applying here. Understood? By seeing the clouds, it's clear that it will rain. This is known as Anumana. And for this, each words, there is a different words are using for that. For example, okay, linga or proben. Okay, it is asked in the question paper. Linga or proben, that is the sign or hedu, reason for it. Okay, hedu means reason for it. That is cloud. Example is cloud. Cloud is the linga or proben. Cloud, from the clouds, by seeing the cloud you get the inference. Okay, so the seeing what, that is called linga. Okay, or proben. Okay, next is lingi, that is lingi is probandham. Okay, lingi, or it is also known as prabandham. It is the object, what comes out of it, or what is the result of it. That is what we called as lingi. Okay, so linga and lingi is, we can see in Anumana. Linga is the cloud and lingi is the rain. You study the example, then it is easy for you. And for the linga, the word is called proben, and lingi, it is known as prabandham. Okay, so Anumana, it is you have two words you have to keep in mind. One is linga and another is lingi. Then again, we have to know that the classification of Anumana is there. Okay, the Anumana is divided into several ways. in three basic, according to the psychology. Okay, according to the psychology, Anumana, you know, it is an inference. You are guessing about a thing by having the knowledge. According to the psychology, it is of two types: Swartha and Parartha. Okay, Swartha. Okay, then Parartha. According to the nature Vyapti. Okay, according to its Vyapti, it is known as Purvat, Sheshat, Samanyado Drashta. Okay, Samanyado Drashta. It is of three types. Based on the induction, okay, based on the induction, it is Kevala Nyayi, Kevala Vediregi, and Anavyadi Regi. It is of three types. Okay, you have to study the words. These are all Sanskrit words because it is based on Indian logic. I will give the details in the next slide. Okay. So, according to the psychology, Anumana is divided into, that is, Swartha. Swartha, the word itself means selfish, self. Only want to convince self. You have to convince only yourself. Okay, don't want to convince others. And Parartha means you are want to convince others. Okay, you want to convince others is known as Parartha. Okay. According to nature of Vyapti, again is divided into three. Okay, this has asked in the question paper. Purvat. Purvat means cause and effect. Purvat means cause and effect. For example, if you don't do the homework, you will get the punishment. So the reason for getting punishment is the don't doing the homework. So cause and effect is there, that is known as Purvat. Okay, Anumana or inference. Next is Sheshat or effect and cause. After effect, the cause will come. For example, the rain, that is when you reach a place, you see some muddy water in all of the areas. By seeing the muddy water, you get an idea that, okay, the effect is the muddy water. You get an idea is that it might have range. Okay. So, Sheshut means the balance. From the balance, you are getting the idea, or the balance means after the rain, what is the effect of it? That is muddy water. So, from that, you get an inference is that the rain has happened there. That is known as Sheshvat. Okay, it is known as Sheshvat. Then Samanyado Drishtam. Samanyado Drishtam means similarity. By seeing the similarity, you know already, you know some kind of similarity, and same similarity things you are seeing here. So you get an idea that this is going to happen. Okay, that is known as Samanyado Drishtam. Okay, it is the similarity. So I think you are now clear about this Anumana's two sections. That is, one is based on psychology and another is based on nature of Vyakti. And one more is there. That is based on induction. Induction, you know, from the specific to general. Here, this is based on the middle term as well as you heard of middle term and major term in the previous classes. According to the middle term and major term, there is three types is there. That is Kevala, Kevala Yani. Kevala Yani is a positive relation. That is middle term as well as the major term has a positive relation. That is one is complementing each other. That is known as Kevalayani and Kevala Vidiregi. Okay, Kevala Vidiregi, it is a negative relation between the middle term as well as with the major term. And Anvyaya Yadiregi. Anvyaya Yadiregi, it is a both positive and negative, both we can see in the case of Anvyadiregi. So you just want to know what it is. That's only enough. They will give some examples of something and you want to find whether it is Kevalayani. Positive, they ask whether it is positive relation, how it will be. So you want to give the Kevalayani, it is that. If it is negative relation, what is that? It is, they ask the middle term and major term has a negative relation, then what do you call it is? That is Kevala Vidireki. So you just want to know what it is. That is only needed in the case of this Indian logic. Okay. So you get an idea, I think. Anumanas, three areas we have already discussed. So I think you are clear about all these three things. Next, we are going to Upamana or comparison. It is similar like our simile. Okay. Upamana, you know, it is comparison. Comparison and analog. It is also called analog. Usage of as we can see. Relation between a name and object denoted by that name. Some relation between some words or like that you are getting an idea about the things. For example, A similar to B means B is similar to A. A is equal to B means B is equal to A. So both ways it is similar. So that is what we call as Upamana or comparison. Okay. So next we are going to deal with Shabda or verbal testimony. Verbal testimony, in the cases in the court, usually they are taking into the evidence, the words, that is, words are considered as trustworthy. So Shabda is considered as verbal testimony in the case of we said that is means of knowledge. Okay. So how they are taking it, we can see that Aptavakya. Aptavakya means statement of a trustworthy person is known as Aptavakya. That is, a person who tells the truth is what we called as Aptavakya. So believing the words. Apta means who always tell the truth. Okay, Apta means who always tell the truth. Vakya means collection of words. So Aptavakya means a statement of truthful person. Next is Vaidekya. Is spoken by. Vaidekya means is the words spoken by God. That is in Vedas and all we can hear the words of God. So it is Vaidekya, that is known as spoken by God. And Laugika is a human being's words. That is known as Laugika. Vaidika is spoken by God. And Laugika, it is a human being's trustworthy words is known as Laugika. Okay. And condition to trust a Shabda. To believe the words of a person, what all the things is needed in that words. That is the main 4 points is needed. One is Aganksha. Aganksha means, here it means a complete sentence. A sentence should be complete. Okay. When you want to believe the words of some person, it should be complete and meaningful. That is the first thing they have to fulfill. Second is yogyata. Yogyata means should not contradict. The word should not be contradicted. Contradict means opposite. It should not be opposite. It should be clear, meaningful, and in a pure, direct way. Next is Sannidhi. Third one is Sannidhi. It's a quick succession without long intervals. Quick succession means the breaking of the word should not be happen. If breaking of word is happening, it means that they are telling the lie. So you have to find whether the word should be flow out. That is needed in the case of telling the true words. So trustworthy for Shabda. Next is Talparya. The purpose no ambiguous. That is, meaning should not be twisted. Meaning should be clear. Okay, it should be purpose should be very clear and it should not be ambiguous. It should not be vague or something. Understood? So I think it's very clear about it. Akanksha, Yogita, Sannidhi, and Talpirya. These are the 4 conditions that should be needed for a word should be trusted. Okay. These all are needed for Pramanas. Okay. Next is Arthapati or postulation. Arthapati or postulation. We are taking that is based on non-facts find the knowledge. Some facts are before us. From that you are finding the unknown things. For example, Artha means significance. Apatti means supposition. Okay. Artha means significance and Apatti means supposition. Arthapati means you are taking some suppositions from the things that have given. It is the circumstantial evidences are okay. It is circumstantial evidences are bringing you to the correct point. For example, fatty man not eating in the morning. For example, the fat man is not eating in the morning. He is not eating in the morning. He is very fat, but he is not eating in the morning. What might be the reason? He is eating at night. Means he might be eating at night. So the evidence is given that he is fat, but he is not eating. So from that you are getting an Arthapati. Okay, you are getting an Arthapati based on the non-facts. You get an idea that he might be eating at night. That is known as Arthapati. So knowing facts find the knowledge. That is known as the Arthapati or postulation. Next is Anupalabdhi. Anupalabdhi means non-apprehension. That is not finding it there. Abhava. Okay, abhava means is not finding there. This is what called Anupalabdhi. Okay, non-existence of thing is apprehended by its own non-perception. That is not finding a thing. So you are clear that it is from a negative thing you are getting a positive answer. That is what we have to say about it. That is something is not present. Okay, but that non-presence is clear from that area, that we have to find it. Knowledge from a negative or absence. Some absence will find the reason. For example, rats are roaming in an area. Okay, rats are roaming there. So, what might be the reason? Cats are not there. Okay. So, we are seeing a negative thing. That is, rats are roaming. It's a negative thing. And it means that the cats are not there. So, what is absent there? What is the absence of something is getting from the presence? Okay. The rats are there. So, the absence of the cat is clear there. The sound of students mean teacher is not there. That is, students are making sound. The presence of student is clear there, but absence of teacher is clear from the sound. Understood? So absence of something is getting from something that is present there. That is known as Anupalabdhi. Anu means non. Upalabdhi means availability. Non-availability of something is getting from the available things. This is known as Anupalabdhi. Okay. So, today's class, you should be very attentive, then only you are able to understand. If you don't understand, you just again go and watch the video, then you get the clearly you will understand. Then if you have any doubts, you can ask it through the comment box. Okay. There is a lot of Sanskrit words is there. If you clearly watch it, you will get an idea about the words behind it. And I have given all detailed description here. You have to study the things. Okay, a lot of words you have to study, then only you are able to attend properly in these questions connected to this. Okay, and don't forget to subscribe this channel, and okay, be attentive to the class. We can meet in the next class. Okay, all of you, goodbye.